What is up, everyone? Thanks for tuning back into Crime Time Podcast. And you might say, well, isn't this supposed to be true crime related stuff? Why are we talking about this scary ass movie? And I mean that. This movie, Long Legs, is horrifying. I mean, one of the most terrifying, disturbing movies I've really ever seen. And I truly mean that. But you might be like, why are we talking about a scary ass movie if it's supposed to be like true crime content? Well, just stick with me. I'll break it down. There's a connection between the two. But I do want to say, if you have not seen the movie yet, click off. There's going to be some spoilers. I'm going to try to keep it limited. If you have, though, please share your thoughts about the movie. If you agree with me, that is absolutely horrifying. I mean, I knew right from the moment that I started seeing trailers and promo for this movie that I wanted to see it, and it just catches your attention and scares you in this bizarre way. Everyone I spoke to was saying the same thing about this movie coming out. And did you see it? They won't show Nicolas Cage's face. It's so creepy, etc. And it really, truly is. I mean, it's like they shot this movie in a filter that just makes everything so terrifying and creepy and dreadful, and just have an uneasy feeling throughout the whole movie. I swear it really almost is like a filter, but on top of it, the way they shot it, like with the different angles, catching obscure things in the background, the sounds, just so much different stuff, camera work, everything. This guy, which I gotta point out also, Oz Perkins, I kept seeing everyone saying, yo, Oz Perkins, this is a new movie, you know it's gonna be crazy. And I didn't know that this is the son of Norman Bates, Anthony Perkins. I didn't know. I heard rumors that Anthony Perkins was like what some people say Rock Hudson was secretly on, or whatever. You know, he died of the HIV back in the day. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. I'm getting a bit off the point. I just didn't know the guy had a kid, you know, and he's this now director, genius filmmaker. And he really just outdid himself with this one. To me, it truly lived up to the expectations that everyone had for it. And it really is interesting the way Silence of the Lambs has been a film that has continued to be mentioned in comparison to this movie, that it switched from, I don't know, the genre that you would call Silence of the Lambs, maybe crime drama / thriller type of movie is what it starts out as, with FBI agents working a case of a serial killer, but then it shifts into basically almost a horror film in a way. Anyone who's seen it, comment and let me know if you would agree with that, as this serial killer, Long Legs, that they've been hunting, you know, for years, has managed to somehow have a father kill his family before offing himself. And there's never really any evidence that Long Legs, played by Nicolas Cage, was there, other than this note, and they just can't figure it out or crack the case. Now, as I was talking about in the beginning of the video, right, why are we talking about true crime, etc. with this film? So many films over the years, horror films, crime dramas, etc., have had somewhat of an inspiration from some real crime, true crime stories, or in some senses, we've even seen films market themselves as being loosely based on a real life crime story. But with Long Legs, that isn't the case, you know, but in a sense it is, which is the whole reason we're doing this video. But the marketing really fooled people, making them think that that's what it was, because, as I said, they did a genius marketing campaign with the trailers and the different imagery and just how spooky and creepy it all was. But there was also a website attached to it that looked like a real true crime website or forum called The Birthday Murders, where it highlighted 11 murders, which is what we're talking about in the film, where there's fathers off the whole family and then themselves. And you see they had this web page and everything, and listen to this creepy clip on the page that's referenced as the final or last known recording, I guess, of Long Legs. You hear how just creepy, terrifying, and unsettling that is, just to go along with everything in the movie, right? But that is not real. That's just something that they did for marketing, and it was genius. It makes a lot of people confused. It blurs the lines of reality and the movie, the cinematic world. And there's been some other films out there over the years that have done this as well. Comment any of them that you recall that actually you remember doing that, or if there was any that you thought were based on real movies and then you found out that it wasn't. Bit of a recap, right? Scary ass movie that's taking the nation by storm, making a bunch of money. Genius promo campaign, all the vision of the son of Anthony Perkins from Psycho, Norman Bates, Oz Perkins, that featured a fake true crime story in which the movie was based on, the birthday murders. So where was this real connection that we're speaking of, based on a real infamous true crime case? Well, later in the movie, when it takes that twist into the more horror side of things, like I said, comment everyone and let me know if you agree with that it shifted from a crime drama thriller to a horror film, as I said. And again, here come the spoilers. We find out that Longlegs, which they did kind of push this for the promo of the movie, is satanic, into the occult and evil demonic rituals and practices, which absolutely scares the fuck out of me, man, because get right with God, everyone. There's some crazy stuff going on in this world, always has been, but I feel like it's been kicked into an extra gear as of late. But when we start finding out in the film more about Longlegs, we find out about these creepy dolls that he sends to the families, like disturbing, man. Each of the families in which end up becoming his victims, and the doll that he makes and ended up sending to them looks like their 9-year-old daughter, which is so disturbing. I don't even want to speak the words. It's so creepy, you know what I mean? And I'll lay off the spoilers at this point if you still haven't seen the movie, but just know that these dolls play a big part in the arc of the story and finding out, what exactly is going on, just the overall picture of his evil, demonic plan. And that's where the connection comes from. A true crime case that still remains right until this day, a very sad case. JonBenet Ramsey, who, man, I don't even know how many years ago that was. I think I was in 5th or 6th grade when that happened. And, comment everyone, what do you think, man? The family has to know what happened or something like that. There's just no way. None of it adds up or makes sense. The ransom note, none of it. I just don't understand it. Sick creeps. And I remember in like 2005, 6, somewhere around that time frame, there was some weirdo who gave a confession to the JonBenet Ramsey murder, and he didn't even do it. He was just some sick bastard seeking attention, and I guess gave fake false confessions before. But as the Christmas was approaching, when the JonBenet Ramsey murder happened and she was found dead in her family's basement in Boulder, Colorado, 15 feet away from her was a gift that her parents had bought her for Christmas, and it was in a box, just like in the movie. Again, this is the connection. It was a life-size replica doll of JonBenet Ramsey, which again is what Longlegs sends to the victims' families on their daughters' birthdays in this movie. And I mean, dolls and stuff like that are creepy already as can be to me. They just freak me out. I don't like them. It's like clowns. I don't like clowns. They just have this extra weird, creepy, evil factor or whatever, and in the JonBenet Ramsey case, rest in peace, such a sad story. Again, like, comment everyone, the family must know something. It just doesn't add up. Hopefully maybe someday they'll solve that case, but I don't know. I'm not too optimistic about that. Let me know again your thought. That's just creepy. Like, the whole case is so disturbing, but the fact of this life-size replica doll just 15 feet away from her body in the basement is something so disturbing and just sinister about all that Oz Perkins took and implemented in this movie as the way that Longlegs finds his way and brings evil into the house of his unsuspecting victims. And man, those dolls in the Longlegs movie, again, I'm trying to lay off the spoilers at this point. How creepy and just evil looking were they? And just the whole plot, like I said, this guy really, Oz Perkins, put together a cinematic masterpiece, which I'm thinking there definitely has to be a sequel on the horizon. I mean, the movie did crazy at the box office. It's terrifying the nation. I wanted to get this video out earlier, as I seen it like a week or two ago. But even with how frightening and terrifying it all is, the fact that he took that from the JonBenet Ramsey case just makes it all the more even horrifying and disturbing to me. Let me know if you agree. And that's going to do it for this one. That is the connection between this popular, scary movie, which, again, would you classify it as being kind of in two genres, a crime drama thriller / horror movie? And what is your thoughts about everything else we touched on in this video? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to jump in the comments, subscribe to Crime Time Podcast for much more true crime content on the way.